We saw that the world, especially entrepreneurs, are struggling with what we call the funky five. That's anxiety, procrastination, people-pleasing, perfectionism, and low self-confidence. And it's keeping entrepreneurs from fulfilling their purpose and bringing real value to the world. They are working on themselves, trying to be a better version of themselves. And what's available on the market, primarily, if not completely, is well-intentioned people usually bringing tips and tools and insights to give you awareness to manage what you're struggling with. Meaning you've got it, and it's helping you manage it and maybe even lower it enough such that it's not slowing you down. But almost always, you're never free of it. And also, if you are free of it, you're looking at years. And what we developed was a system, keyword system. By the end of the 6 weeks, you're free of the funky five.
If you're finding value in what you're watching, consider hitting the subscribe button and turning on the bell notification. Oh, and don't forget to drop a comment. I love hearing your thoughts and ideas. By the way, we have got a ton of other videos waiting for you. And if you are ready to level up your mindset, come hang out with us in our private Facebook group called Mindset for Business Success. Welcome to Super Entrepreneurs Podcast. I'm your host, Shahid Durrani. Today we have with us Daniel Packard. Daniel is a UC Berkeley mechanical engineer who spent 8 years to reverse engineer an innovative internal process to overcome fear, doubt, and anxiety that gets you permanent change quickly. Welcome to our show, my friend.
Oh my gosh, that was just a full power introduction. I know you're very successful, but if you ever want a side job of just introducing people, like as they walk in the room, like coming to the room now is Gary. Gary is excellent at walking the dog and making guacamole toast. You have just a very warm, wonderful, and I wish I had that laugh. If I had your laugh, it's like a fusion of Barry White and Santa Claus. It's really good, your laugh. I wish I had it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Daniel. It's all about energy, and you don't get that with every guest, obviously. And once you work with energy, you match with the person that you're interviewing at their level. So you're also emitting that type of energy. You have this positive hue about you. So it's bringing that out in me as well.
Yes, we are locked little heart love Jedis, and we can sense each other. It's jazz musicians saying, I see the music you're playing. I can play that music.
Yes, it's exactly that. Said Daniel. So just to kick off things, I know our episodes are shorter and you would like to have a lot more time, and we can always come back, but let's just start it off and explain it to the audience what you do. I did your an hour and a half program that you sent me. For people that are not aware of that, you can see you explaining the full liberation technology and how it specifically helps people overcome fear, doubt, and anxiety.
Thank you again for taking the time to listen to that. So to be clear, what we offer is a 6-week program. You got the kind of 90-minute sample.
Yeah.
If I'm going to share with your audience some incredible claims of how we help people, and they're going to be skeptical. Good. Now, I completely understand that. They don't know me, but they know you. Based in your experience of that 90 minutes, if you want to either back up what I'm saying, hey, I felt the 90 minutes, this guy's for real, or I agree with what he's saying, feel free to chime in, because again, that's why I sent it to you, because here's what we're bringing to the world, which doesn't exist, that I'm aware of. We saw that the world, especially entrepreneurs, are struggling with what we call the funky five. That's anxiety, procrastination, people-pleasing, perfectionism, and low self-confidence. And it's keeping entrepreneurs from fulfilling their purpose and bringing real value to the world. Now, your entrepreneurs, if they're listening to this podcast, hello, entrepreneurs, they are working on themselves, trying to be a better version of themselves. And what's available on the market, primarily, if not completely, is well-intentioned people usually bringing tips and tools and insights to give you awareness to manage what you're struggling with. Meaning you've got it, and it's helping you manage it and maybe even lower it enough such that it's not slowing you down. But almost always, you're never free of it. And also, if you are free of it, you're looking at years. And what we developed was a system, keyword system, such that in 6 weeks, you can measurably, because we measure you as you go through the program, measurably by the end of the 6 weeks, you're free of the funky five: anxiety, procrastination, people-pleasing, perfectionism, and low self-confidence. And so that's what we do that's rare. I know your audience is skeptical. I'll tell you why this is possible. But if you just want to keep managing the procrastination and learning about it and working on it and always, I'm not going to stop it. But your listeners are entrepreneurs. These are results-focused people that need results. So I'm not dismissing what your audience has worked on. I'm saying probably what you're doing, what we do is more efficient. It can get you more joy, more fulfillment, more purpose in a much faster period of time for way less money. That's my value proposition. How's that sound?
Very good. Excellent.
And the reason we got here, what we've done is a real innovation. And it's an innovation that I didn't necessarily want to do. The innovation that we're bringing to the world is a process that gives measurable results. Again, as you go through the program, twice a day, you're tracking your symptom, what you're working on. And because results matter. And the reason results matter to me is because growing up, my dad was a physicist, and he sat me down and he said, Daniel, anybody can have a theory or an idea, but it's the person that gets results. That's the person you want to trust. They know what they're doing.
The game.
Results matter. And that idea stuck with me. And it's important because anyone can fake it. Anyone can say this and anything is results matter. Shahid, and as your audience knows, that's what makes them successful entrepreneurs. You can't be an entrepreneur and look in the mirror and say, I'm rich. Nice, but no, your bank account is your result. Your sales are your results matter in sports and in business. And so the love of results took me to engineering school at UC Berkeley, and I was properly trained how to look at complex problems. You create a solution, and then you test it. You get results. Is it working? If not, you calibrate it, you refine it, you build new prototypes until you get something that not only works, but works consistently. That's what engineers are good at. Innovating things that work consistently. So the good news was I was trained how to make machines work, but they didn't teach me how to make relationships and life work. So I could build a robot that played ping pong, but I was an insecure, anxious, perfectionism, people-pleasing kid with low self-esteem. What good is that? And like your audience, I go looking for help. And I go to therapists, psychologists, gurus, teachers. I lived in ashrams, 10 years and $100,000 spent. And what results did I get? And the result was tips and tools and insights to help me manage it, which is not bad, but I wasn't free of it. I wasn't being the person I wanted to be. I was still procrastinating. I wasn't fulfilled. I wasn't joyful. And I was also sad. I felt alone and also angry, like 100,000 and I'm still stuck here? Come on. And I looked up to whoever's up there listening, and in like a moment of pissed off, just like I looked up to the sky and I just said, what do you want from me? This is a test. I get it, but what am I missing? And it was a rhetorical question. I was just getting mad at God. But I heard this voice, which was what my dad said, which is results matter. And I just looked at the $1 trillion improvement in industrial complex and I said, these are well-intentioned people, but they don't get great results. It's not permanent. It's not fast. And it's mostly management. So results matter. I'm an engineer. I know how to make things that get good results. So partly for my own pain, but partly for just the planet that needs something more effective, more efficient, fast, permanent results where you're free of it. And so I started my own research company, Full Liberation Technology, with the mission to see, could we reverse engineer, keyword engineer, a solution such that if you work the steps, you get the result. Results matter. And would it be measurable and consistent? Now, it sounded good, right? Invent something so people can be free of what holds them back. It sounded really great. It was so hard. But that's the beauty of engineers. We are unrelenting, focused problem solvers. That is what's good about engineers. If you look at all the innovation that we have, all the technology, that's basically scientists and engineers focused on specific problems. And if you stay focused long enough, you will eventually get it. The Wright brothers built a prototype and then for 4 years just tweaked it, optimized it, worked on it, first to flight. Not because they were smarter and enlightened, they just focused on solving the problem. So we stayed focused on solving the problem, getting people free. We worked it took 8 years. We worked with 3,000 people on 5 continents. We worked with NFL athletes. We worked with monks in India. We worked with addicts in South Africa. We worked with entrepreneurs in Europe and the US and Canada. And over $1 million of research and development later, we finally cracked the code. We had a system that's 6 weeks and it's simple, step by step, and it gets measurable, permanent results. And because results matter, when we work with clients, we don't charge you at the beginning because we haven't gotten you a result. We haven't helped you. There's no results matter. We only charge you at the end once you have clear, measurable data that what you're struggling with is gone and not coming back for two reasons. One is nobody believes we can do this, Shahid, because it's innovative and they're skeptical. And I get that. So we say, look, be skeptical. Lots of entrepreneurs come to us. They're like, sounds too good to be true, but I met somebody who did what you did and they said you charge at the end. And so it's no risk to try. And we say, exactly. And they say it also probably means you do get results because you back up your results. So we do it so skeptical people we can help, but also it's just the right thing to do. Results matter. If we can't help you give your life back or make you truly free of this, that's our measurement of results. And if we can't get you that result, we're not going to charge you. It's not the right thing to do. There's other people who will definitely take your money, but we won't.
So can you walk us through how you achieve this?
Absolutely. And it's important that I explain it because, again, since what we're claiming isn't what's being sold right now. What's being sold, again, is mostly management and not simple and not fast. There are people out there that can be free of the Funky Five. I was talking to a gentleman who doesn't procrastinate anymore. He said, it used to ruin my life, and now I have all these things, and I said, that's wonderful. That's incredible. I said, how long did that take? He said, 15 years. I went, okay, we got down to 6 weeks. So
it took me about a year and a half, 2 years.
Okay, so there you go. So 6 weeks, still more efficient. And also, that's not typical, 2 years, and to be free of it, but you're not a typical person. We wanted something very simple, user-friendly, where you didn't have to be, anybody could do it. And here's why it's possible. Because we're engineers and we're problem solvers, so we're more likely to, most of the people you go to are learner sharers, your coaches, your gurus, your teachers, your therapists. They learn things that are already out there and they share it. Great. There's value in that, but they're not innovative problem solvers. The innovative problem solvers are problem solvers and innovators, but they're focused on the outside world. That's where all the innovation. So I'm just in this weird little Venn diagram. If you take innovative problem solvers focused on the internal world instead of the outside world, that's why we were able to do this. And we did it because our approach was mechanical. All the other approaches are spiritual and psychological. And that's great if you want to have an understanding of things, like an abstract understanding of things. It'll give you insights. It's like a flashlight. It's helpful. It's valuable. But if you want reliable, fast results, what's better is mechanical. Mechanical means this is connected to this. If you move, this moves always. It's not theory. And two people walk up to you and one person says, oh, I see you struggling. I think you have a real negative mindset around air and you're really focusing on your lack of air instead of the abundance of air. And I think your ego is really attached to breathing and living. And if you could just let go and see the infinite from within, you'd be fine. Or somebody walks up and goes, this is a mechanical issue. You have a windpipe. It's mechanically blocked. I'm going to add pressure to your stomach. That should put air behind the blockage, pop it out, and you can be breathing in 10 seconds. If you want a fast, efficient, consistent solution, do you want to approach it spiritual, psychological, or mechanical?
So mechanical, you're referring to the body, correct?
First, I'm just saying, I'll get to what that means, but can you see that a mechanical approach is more likely to get you a reliable solution?
Not until I know what the mechanical exactly means, then I could probably chime in a little bit better.
So this is what we mean by mechanical. The first thing we did is we approached this mechanically. So we said, if we can understand this, what's mechanically going on, then we can create an understanding that has a quick solution. That's what mechanics have. That's what a knee doctor does. I took my knee in, ACL was blown out, mechanical issue. So if we can get a mechanical understanding. So the first thing we noticed when we started doing research is that we're told that the problem of a lot of things, the anxiety, the procrastination, the perfectionism, the low self-esteem, the people-pleasing, we're told it's a problem of the mind. You have to change your mindset, change the story in your mind. You have to quiet the ego in your mind. It's called mental health. It's focused on the mind. Now, the mind is part of it. It certainly is not helping. The mind can scare you and say horrible things that'll mess you up. However, we saw that it was not the root cause. The mind is a symptom of what's really going on, which is in the body. So what we saw was in the Funky Five, you don't have individual problems. What you have is different symptoms of fear. If you're anxious, you're really just very afraid, and you call that fear feeling anxious. Procrastinators are afraid to start and finish things. Perfectionists are afraid to make a mistake. People pleasers are afraid to not be liked, so they want everyone to be happy. People with low self-confidence are afraid to be their true selves. So you don't have multiple problems, you have multiple symptoms of one root cause, which is fear. Make sense?
Yes.
Now, your audience doesn't need me to tell you that fear is a problem, right? I may be reframing things by saying these are symptoms, but still. So then what we notice is that fear...
they call it false evidence appearing real.
That's what they call it. However, that's a nice catchphrase. Doesn't make it solvable.
Catchphrase. Yeah. We're not talking about that. I'm just talking about the term fear, just to understand the function of it, right?
Yes. However, it's not false, and that's a misnomer. It feels false because you're thinking, why am I so afraid? But I'll explain to your audience why they're afraid, and it's not false. There's a real reason. There's a mechanical reason. But if you call it false, I'm not saying you call it that, that dismisses. Like if you took your car to a mechanic and he said, that's a false noise, he's missing the noise. So it's a nice catchphrase. It gives people a reframe.
False meaning basically it's active in the body, but it's showing itself as it's false as it's appearing in the function of a human being, but it's real where it's located. Does that make sense?
It does, but not to get lost in the definition. Calling it false dismisses the root cause, and you won't go looking for the root cause if that word false
you
is
have to
being
go to the
around.
Root cause. You have to go to the root cause.
And if you go around throwing around the word false, it tends to confuse people because the root cause, it's not false. It's very real and very present. But anyway, we said most things out there try to get you to overcome the fear, reframe the fear, push through the fear, and face the fear. That's great short term, but it's not a full solution if we can understand where fear is coming from. And we saw fear originates in the body and then spreads to the mind. Because you've noticed when you feel fear in the body, usually your mind starts to spin more. When you're calmer, your mind tends to be quiet. The mind follows the body. So part of the reason your audience doesn't get great results is they're being sent to the symptom. The mind, you're never going to solve it. You were sent to the wrong place.
But it's both ways though, right?
No.
So let me explain. This is our little diagram that we use with our students. This top part is the conscious mind, and this is the subconscious mind in the body. The conscious mind is where the educated mind is, where all the knowledge goes, how we make sense of things. And then our subconscious, which in reality is actually the body. The subconscious is 96 to 98% of all our results, perceptions, behaviors are subconscious. The body is subconscious. So when you're looking for that fear, when you're finding the actual source, you're looking in the body, but it's also in the subconscious. So both ways, subconscious, the body can feel something and then it goes to the mind. But the mind can also have an effect on the subconscious, especially when you're trying to shift things around in the subconscious, the belief system and everything, you will need the interaction of your conscious mind.
So I appreciate you explaining that to me. And if you're saying that the subconscious is in the body, you're way wiser than most people because at least you're looking in the body.
This is what we do with our students. Is whatever you sent me that an hour and a half, it felt so at home and it was such a wonderful experience. And unfortunately, you are so right that people are preaching information that gets surface level motivation, surface level improvements, but they don't last. They're not permanent. To get permanent results, you have to go to the source. And you're maybe the second or third. There's a couple of spiritual people that also spoke about it, because spirituality is also connecting with the subconscious mostly. They're not in the conscious mind. They're more into the subconscious. So it's very relatable what you're saying. And I'm so grateful to have you on the show to explain it the way you're explaining, because you're making it easy to understand.
First of all, thank you for that deep appreciation. I know how wise you are and how much there's stuff out there that's ineffective. I can see from the place that you're speaking, you're wiser and you have a quiet mind. So your appreciation of what we do and that it's rare. You said a few people, and also you didn't do the 6-week program, which is what gets you the permanent results. But when you measured a fear or something, there's an exercise where you feel a fear or an anxiety, then you apply one of our techniques, and then to show proof of concept, the number goes down. Did you feel a bit calmer after the exercise?
So what I had to do, and this is just me being very authentic and honest, I had to inject it. I had to bring it back. I had to go in the past and bring something that may be bothering me. You know what I mean? I played with myself to go through the process. And when I did go to the process, it felt incredibly better in that process.
Say it again. Say it again, because people trust you. Say it again, Shahid.
Incredibly better.
And can you see, based in the logic of why you felt better temporarily? And I get that because you're so calm, you had to kind of act. Some people say
I went through all this. I went through all this healing work. I understand the concept of it, and working on for example, your inner child is holding on and trying to protect so much. Like you said in that program, you actually said that we're a child in an adult's body. It is so true, because we literally carrying those paradigms that we created up to age 8, and then we built upon it in our subconscious mind that makes us who we are, how we shake hands, how we walk. It's all a program, and it's instilled in there. You know, if we get frustrated a lot, that means as a child we were getting frustrated in school. We still have those areas that are holding us back. There's like blockages, there's walls, and how you do it is you find that block and you communicate, and you make that child feel love again, and you bring that communion back, and you bring that closeness back, where the child starts. And that doesn't happen on one session. An hour and a half doesn't do it. You have to do a few, but that's why you have the 6-week program, I bet you. And from there you go step by step, and one day you start finding that it's not even a big deal anymore, because that child has been healed.
What you just said. So first of all, you said simple, you felt it. And what we're doing, it's not exactly inner child work. It's using the metaphor of the child just to allow people to give themselves the love that they deserve. Because we learned that even
very
if you
similar to it.
What?
Very similar to it. Inner
It's
child.
similar,
You can
but-
name it different. You can name it something else, but it's the same thing, though, I think.
The difference is that I did a lot of inner child work, and it never solved any. Again, it was insights. It helped. What the value of what we do, and you don't know because you didn't do the whole system, is it's not the theory that gets the results. It's what we learned is most people are learning individual tips and tools. Usually it's one tool from this person or one strategy from this person. But what we found is that usually doesn't work to create fast, permanent change. If you hire a contractor to rebuild your house and they have a hammer and they say, okay, I've got a hammer, I'm ready to go, you're not going to trust they can get the job done, because most people have a optimized toolkit to get one job done. Mechanics have mechanic tools, contractors have contractor tools, but usually your clients buy like a mindset tool from this person, breathing exercises from this person, and that's setting them up for failure because you don't have an optimized tool. We spent 8 years to make sure everything's included in the system. The other reason—
The breathing as well.
What?
The breathing part is also included in your program.
It's all in there, but it's not just there. It's optimized to work together. But the other reason that we get a 90% success rate, and people say, how can you get people to pay at the end? Because we've been testing the system, and to make a system be effective, you need another thing. You need instructions. A lot of times when I was getting insights from people, they were valuable, but the therapist or the guru would say, here's a tool, good luck. And then it was just up to me. So what we've developed is the complete toolkit, but also what to do on what day, in what order, for how long. So there's no confusion, no wondering. If you work the steps, you get the results. Just like baking. If you follow the ingredients and you do the instructions, surprise, you get the thing. So you said it was simple. And also what you did was just a 90-minute sample. But based on your knowledge of consciousness, can you at least see that if what we taught in that 90 minutes, if that was done repetitively over 6 weeks, it could be permanent. Did you see that was possible?
It is not a question of if, and the reason why you're doing the 90% is that is the formula to heal, to remove those problems that people are facing in their life and generally how they operate. Like for us, we have a 6-month program that we do. It's a complete transformational program, step by step, just like you're saying it, much more than 6 weeks, obviously. But if it's not done on a repetition, if you're not connecting to the body continuous with new ideas and looking at old concepts, it's just going to be temporary. It's just going to be surface level. So how you're seeing it, how you're putting it all together, I completely see it providing results.
You're the first person in a long time. People, when I come on these shows, people like what I'm saying. They're like, oh, I like this. A system. It's not in the mind. It's in the body. You're addressing the fear. They like it, but they're skeptical because it's an innovative way. And most people haven't done enough deep work to know this is even the way to go. You do. The fact that you even do 6 months is incredible. Hat off to you. It's not a competition, but 6 months is incredible. We're proud of 6 weeks, but credit to you. So the reason we're able to do this is we saw that fear was a mechanical issue. And you said, what does that mean? So there's a system in the body. It's called the nervous system. It's got the word nervous right in there. It should have been a clue to the experts. Everybody's afraid. There's a system in the body that has the word nervous. And after 100 years of modern psychology, anxiety's on the rise, and you were like, it's a problem in the mind. No, it's not. There's a system in the body called the nervous system. You should have gone there first. We were engineers. We were trying to problem solve. So everybody has a nervous system. It is the body's mechanical threat response system. If it is off or wobbly or unhealthy, you experience, it feels like a threat, and you feel unsafe. If you feel unsafe in your nervous system, you feel fear. If you feel fear, then symptoms and coping mechanisms, the funky 5, arise. So what you're experiencing are symptoms, not you're broken. There's nothing wrong with you. It's that your nervous system is malfunctioning. You feel unsafe and fearful, and these are symptoms. So the beauty is nervous system, mechanical. We know systems in the body can fail and can be repaired. We see it all the time. So we figured out why the nervous system is faulty and how to repair it. And I wish we had more time, but here's the basic crash course, okay? Real fast. Let's say we're friends, okay? Which we are now. I feel like we've connected. So I'm talking to you, Shahid, and your audience member. And the question is, why do I feel unsafe? Is it my past? Is it childhood? Is it society? No. That'll fix you, but that's not the root cause. Here's the root cause. Let's say we're friends, and I treat you really poorly. I'm mean to you. I'm inconsiderate. I'm not there for you. I'm unkind to you. I know what you need, and it doesn't matter to me. And I put everybody else ahead of you. And when you really need me, I'm not there for you, and I criticize you. After a while, will you feel safe or unsafe?
Unsafe.
Right. Now, the beauty of mechanics is if you know the mechanics of one direction, you can go to the other direction. Now, let's say all of a sudden I start treating you really well. I'm kind. I'm considerate. You can rely on me. I know what matters to you, and it matters to me. I make you a priority, and when you really need me, I'm there for you. If I treat you that way long enough, will you start to feel safe?
I'll feel trusted, safe.
Exactly, because of trust. So there's a mechanical link between care, trust, and safety. We know this with other people. There's people we feel unsafe around. Basically, there's a mechanical link between care, trust, and safety. But people are in a relationship with themselves. And as we know, people aren't always loving and caring to themselves. So what's causing your nervous system to feel the threat, and this is confronting, is you. Little acts every day that are completely undetectable are accumulating where you have broken trust with yourself, and your nervous system feels unsafe because of you to you. It's not the past. It's happening right now. So that's what's causing the unsafety. But the beauty is if little acts of unhealth from you to you are making things malfunction, the beauty is that makes this solvable, because by switching from little acts of unhealth to little acts of health, you can heal the nervous system. And that's what our program does in 6 weeks. What?
Good news.
It's really good news because it makes the solution simple and doable. If you've gained weight, to lose weight, you don't have to become enlightened or get anything. You just switch little habits and you lose the weight. It's in the body. So in 6 weeks, we give you the tools and the instructions of basically little, simple, doable things that you do repeatedly, heal your nervous system, and you feel safe from the inside out. Not only are you a better entrepreneur, you're a better person, you're happier, you're a better parent, partner, leader. If everybody felt safe from the inside out, which is what you get from this program, we would have, the world would be a much better place. And you have real freedom. And that's what we're offering. So again, if you have anxiety and you've been working on it and it's better and you can manage it, I'm proud of you. I really am. But if you'd like to be free of it, it's gone. We get people that every day. We can get you that. If you're a procrastinator and it's better, it's not, and you're managing it, wonderful. I'm happy for you. However, if you could be free of that to get hours of work done every day, focused, bringing value to the world so you were fulfilled, if you want that, we can get to that. If you're a perfectionist and you need, and you're working on it and it's better and you're a recovering perfectionist, but you just want it gone so you're free to just go out into the world and make mistakes and learn and break things and bring real value to the world, we can get you that. If you are a people pleaser and you want to know how to really make yourself a priority, because a healthy you is a healthy world, we can get you that. And especially low confidence. It's holding your entrepreneurs back, the self-doubt. And I know you have tips to change your mindset and to work on it and make it better. I'm so happy for you. But if you would like to be an authentic, open-hearted, confident person who does not need people's approval in 6 weeks, we can get you that. And again, I know you're skeptical. You only pay at the end when it works. So if you are curious to learn more, I like things simple. My name's Daniel Packard. Go to danielpackard.com.
Thank you.
And there's 2 options. One, both of which you can have a free quick call with me. Either you can have a free next steps call where I learn more about you and your unique situation. You tell me what you're struggling with, and I'll give you some quick actionable next steps that you can take that'll move you in the direction of less fear and more freedom from one of the Funky 5. Or if you like the idea of the program, you just want this gone, and you love the fact that you pay at the end, you can go to our website, you can learn more about the program, you can see our testimonials, and if you're interested to see if the program's a good fit for you, book a free quick call with me. I'll learn more about you. I'll make sure it's a good fit. If it's not, I won't let you do it because I don't want people to try and fail. But if it is a good fit, you could start to be free of this a couple days from now. That's the power of results. What do you think about that, Shahid?
Thank you. I love it. Results is the name of the game. If you want to sugarcoat things or feel good or do surface level work, that's wonderful, but you could spend your entire life doing it. Even YouTube, you could be sitting there watching YouTube videos all day long. If you don't penetrate and make changes in the subconscious, if you don't make changes of clearing stuff in the body, if you're not working at the blocks, whatever work you're even trying to do is just won't allow that penetration to create a new state of mind or a new state of being. Inside out is the true way of being, where you take your power back and then you understand that life, circumstances, situation, people, they just are. And then you're able to transcend them and be more connected to them in a more loving manner, because now you're starting to love self. And to look at self is probably the hardest thing for many people to do, right? To even look in. For you to offer this guarantee, I'm grateful because you're helping people face this fear of looking within, self-awareness, going inside and looking at these things. It's not easy. So you giving this breather to people, it's so appreciative, and I'm grateful to have you on the show, my friend.
Thank you. I want to point out one quick thing, but thank you for that deep appreciation, because again, of which I speak, and you know where to go. The value of what we do, again, it's the speed and it's the guarantee. That's what people know to look within. People know they have, those people know, but it's the speed and the efficiency. But the other thing is, to make it effective, we actually did make it simple and actually pretty easy. And so sometimes people say, I know I need to look within. I'm afraid I'm broken in there. The reason we get such a high success rate is we've made it you start off very gentle, easy to do exercises, starts off simple in module 1. And then we slowly increase, because that's what works. If we give you something too difficult, you'll try and fail. So normally looking from within, people know the answer's there, but we have made it so kindergarten simple that anybody, and especially people who are afraid to look from within, I'm telling you, it's not that scary the way we've laid it out. And that's one of the reasons we have this effectiveness. We don't want it to be scary. We want it to be gentle and also just effective. Yes, I totally agree with you, but I want to be clear. If done correctly, it's not so scary. It's actually a beautiful reunion between yourself and yourself quickly and permanently so that you can feel safe from within and bring value to the world.
Said, and going within or looking within is there's so many layers to that. And if you're able to simplify it, that's wonderful. If you're able to make it very easy for people to work on this and make this shift, that is super important. It's just sometimes our conscious mind doesn't allow it. We get in our own way. So your program sounds like you help with that as well, that you show them the way that, you know what, you don't need to be in the way of this. Just let it flow. Join me, follow this plan that I have made, that I created, a simple plan to follow. So
absolutely, the simplicity, man. I love it. That's what took all the hard work. We had it working years ago where it was getting results, but it still, people were getting hung up and blocks and things because it's human consciousness and people are afraid. So all that work was optimizing, removing obstacles, addressing the fear in the subconscious. And that's how we're getting these results, was the optimization. And just again, my opinion, from just that 90 minutes, because they trust you, I guess you've said that, but can you see just based in the 90 minutes that you experienced that if you interpolate that out to 6 weeks, it is very possible that we could get people free of this quickly and in a simple way?
Short answer is yes. I had to play with it. I had to mimic a person. I had to role play in a way.
Does it seem possible? You can't know for sure, but does it seem possible?
Yeah, because theoretically 110%, because this is the stuff that we do in our program, the 6 month, is about shifting your paradigm. And the paradigm is in the subconscious. So when we work on that area and you shift it, you create a new self-image. So you completely change as a personality, not in a change in a way that, oh, I don't want to change. You bring your true self out to the world. You bring out all the strengths more visible to the surface. And what you're doing is your program, what I see it is helping in removing the blocks that will get in the way of that reprogramming. So exactly. 100%, I see a value in it. I appreciate your time. We usually try to keep it at maximum 30 minutes, but it was such a wonderful conversation, my friend.
Thank you so much for having me. It was an honor. And to the 1 in 1,000 people out there that are really ready to change, we're here to help you. It was an honor to be here, Shahid. I appreciate you very much.
Thank you. And if you want to come back and actually do a session together, we can do that as an episode too, to help people and record it. So we could do something like that, something creative. And I don't mind having you back. I can talk about this stuff all day long. I'm so passionate. The way it changed my life and the people that we work with is like heaven on earth. So what you're doing is not just about the business side of things or the money side of things. You're making an impact on humanity. So I respect you, and I wish you all the best, all the success. The more people you help, the better it is for the world.
I would love to come back and do Jedi mind meld and talk about these important concepts to get people heaven on earth. That's exactly what we're doing. So thank you for doing your part and my part. And I would love to talk about heaven on earth for hours with you.
Thank you, my friend. Take care.